There's a reason you feel like you're holding back your natural authority, even when you have valuable insights to offer. And it's not because you lack leadership capacity or aren't decisive enough. It's because you've been trying to fit into a masculine model that was never designed for you as an executional man. What if the reason that you've been feeling constrained or playing smaller than you know your natural capacity to be, like you're always second-guessing your leadership instincts, isn't because something's wrong with you, but because you've been modeling yourself after men who experience the world completely differently than you? This is what we're going to be diving into today. And if you're new to my work, my name's Courtney Shand. I'm so excited for you to be here. I really intend with this video to create some clarity around this executional and experiential masculine model so that you can start to identify your natural areas of strength and step more into them as an executional masculine man. This is what's going to lead to the self-assurance that shows up as confidence that you're looking for if you have been trying to get out of that nice guy territory. Because as I mentioned in previous videos, being a nice guy has nothing to do with being nice and more to do with discernment. So let's dive into that today. I want you to think about the masculine models that you've been taught to admire. The guys who lead through social dominance, who create energy with charisma, who move fast, generate excitement, and command attention through their experiential presence. They build results through social momentum, rapid connection, and energetic influence. But if you're naturally executional, if you process situations at depth rather than breadth, if you organize emotional complexity rather than social dynamics, and create systematic approaches rather than experiential energy, trying to model their approaches forces you to abandon your own natural strengths, because their path requires that you become someone that you're not, to suppress the natural gift that you have of feeling into complexity and creating reliable structure, and to minimize your capacity for emotional labor and systematic thinking. You weren't designed to generate energy in a room. You were designed to organize it. You're likely the type of man who feels deeply through the body, who senses nuance at speed and organizes the emotional field, maybe without even realizing it. You don't lead by exciting others. You lead by creating containment that allows others to do their best work, by seeing clearly through the complexity, and by offering systematic approaches that serve what the situation actually needs. But because your authority is often quiet, it might have gone unrecognized, and you've probably been accused of overthinking when you're actually deeply feeling, held back your natural direction to avoid seeming controlling, and minimized your systematic thinking to help others feel comfortable, or felt like you're too much for your current container but still not doing enough. This creates a pattern of what I call playing small, where you keep constraining yourself to not overwhelm others, but you never learn how to give direction from discernment rather than judgment. And here's what I mean by that. You've probably collapsed giving direction with being domineering. So every time a situation requires leadership, something inside you freezes. You seek consensus, defer to others' preferences. You want everyone to feel comfortable because you're terrified of coming across as controlling. Direction based on discernment, which is what does the situation require, is completely different than direction based on judgment, which is what do I prefer. The first serves everyone and the second serves your ego. So when you operate from discernment, you're not imposing your preferences. You're responding to what's genuinely needed, considering all parties involved and taking the appropriate action whether or not it's comfortable. This is exactly what allows relationships to continue deepening. And not doing it prevents people from trusting your natural leadership, which is why you still feel constrained even though you have a clear vision and are able to think about things systematically. But here's another layer that people often miss, because part of the constraint is in not identifying your scale of impact. For example, are you naturally fulfilled in family dynamics and intimate relationships, building community culture and local systems, influencing regional or industry-wide changes? Or are you someone that enables people's identities on a global level? Because here's what I know. When you try to operate at someone else's scale, whether you're playing smaller than your natural capacities or trying to force impact beyond what is authentic to you, you create that constrained feeling that you're experiencing. So here's what most people don't understand about executional men. You naturally excel at emotional labor. While experiential men create connections and energetic experiences, you organize emotional complexity. You're the one who feels into situations deeply and creates systematic structures to allow everyone to thrive. But because emotional labor is invisible and often undervalued in our culture, you've probably been taught to downplay your natural gift instead of owning it as your authentic contribution. And the integration that you're being called into is owning your depth as a service, not a burden. The shift you're being invited into is one of authentic authority, not performing someone else's version of leadership. You're not here to generate social energy or experiential momentum. You're here to own your emotional labor gifts instead of minimizing them, to give direction through discernment instead of avoiding leadership, to operate at your authentic scale without constraining or inflating, to let your depth and clarity be of service instead of hiding it to protect others' comfort, and to create systematic containers for other people to do their best work. You're not here to match someone else's masculine expression. You're here to embody the type of leader that communities are longing for. Someone who can organize complexity, create reliable structure, while maintaining genuine care for everyone involved. This is exactly what we're doing for executional men inside of the Rebrand. We're not giving you another framework to copy. We're helping you identify your natural scale so you can own your emotional labor gifts and learn how to give direction through discernment rather than avoiding leadership altogether, so that you and other people can see that you're the kind of man who creates containment and allows other people's authentic expression, that you're the kind of leader that other people trust with their own development, and the kind of partner who is systematically reliable while maintaining that emotional depth. So if you're ready to stop constraining your natural authority and start stepping into leadership that serves, I would love to have a conversation with you. I would love for you to book a discovery call, and I'll put the link below. Together, we can explore where you're playing small, identify your natural scale of impact, and determine if this integration work is the right fit for you. Because you're not behind and you're not broken. You're just done trying to fit into the experiential models that were never designed for the systematic, deep processing type of man that you are. This is what we're addressing inside of the Rebrand. Andrew Bauer and I have been working together to create a space for us to have these type of conversations. And if this has resonated with you, I would love it if you shared this with another executional man who might benefit from hearing this. Because even your masculine energy is different. You weren't meant to generate energy like everyone else. You were meant to organize it and to create the containers where authentic expression becomes possible. And this is what we're loving helping men step into. So if this is resonating with you, feel free to let me know in the comments. Share this with an executional man who would benefit from this. And if you want to check out the Rebrand, I would love for you to check it out or go ahead and book a call. Let's see if one-on-one work is a good fit for you. As always, you'll find the links in the description below, and I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys next week.